Hello, hello. Um, it is Tamara with our Big Oily Family, and today I wanted to talk about some application ideas that are very helpful for a variety of things, and that is it's called the Symphony of the Cells. There is a little booklet that you could get. This is the new one. This is what the older one used to look like. Here, I'll do that, and then maybe it'll focus on the book. Um, anyway, the old one is the fourth version. The new one, this was from the one I have is from 2020. I don't know which version it is. It just says 2020 edition. So I mean, it's 2025 now. There might be a newer edition for you. But I think all of the applications are the same. I don't think they've added any new ones. I know there was a new one added in this book compared to the other one. So what this is, so you know what it is, right? You may not know what Symphony of the Cells is. Um, Reading out of the book here. It's a collection of 19 essential oil applications that were created by Boyd Truman, based on approximately 27 years of practical knowledge and use of pure therapeutic grade essential oils. Um, you can that to There is a website that you can go to, and it is Symphony of the Cells. I think it's symphonyofthecells.com. Let me make sure that's what it is. Yes, symphonyofthecells.com. And then it has everything. You can shop for the books. You can see when the trainings are. When it was 2020 time, everything was online, right? When it was online, you could do them online. They are all in person now. They're better in person. I've gone to a couple in person, and they're just you can volunteer to be one of the recipients, and you can volunteer to be one of the people who do the application. So super, super cool. He's very, very knowledgeable. If you go to the website, there is a mobile app that kind of tells you if you're out and about and you don't have your book, right? Apps are really nice because then you typically always have your phone with you, and you can know what to use when, right? For what you might have going on. There is a Facebook community group, there's a blog. If you click on About SOC, there is an introduction to the Symphony of the Cells, and there is a YouTube video on there that just kind of walks you through what it is all about. Um, in the book here, um, so we said it was 19 different applications. So it's using oils in a specific order, um, and a specific way. And in the book, it has little instructions here, um, on they say it's the what I want to say, it's like the reference guide, right? So it has apply carrier oil to the back or spine. If it has a nose, it's allow the individual to smell the oil. So if you have it on your hand, right, you're just going to hold it underneath their nose. If it has a picture of the heart, you're going to apply it over the heart area. Liver, you're going to apply it over the liver area. Feet, that's on the bottoms of your feet, right? Up and down your spine. It has a picture of a spine. If it has a picture of the head and it's got the drop right by the neck, you're going to apply it to the neck and shoulder area, that kind of thing. So it's got some little basics there. Remember that when you apply oils to the skin, some of them can be more warm, right? Make your skin more sensitive. And so you want to always use a carrier oil when you're doing this. Um, and then maybe even a little bit more. You want to, when you have the oils that you're using, you want to let them drip out of the bottle. Don't shake it, just let it drip out of the bottle, right? As always, don't put any in your eyes, your ears, your nose, that kind of thing. Don't add water to the essential oils because that actually makes them intensify. So if you get essential oil in your eyes, say you've got it on your hands and you rub your eyes for whatever reason, right? And then you have it in your eyes, and that's no fun. Don't try to wash it out with water. Take a carrier oil on either a tissue or a cotton ball and wipe it across your eyes, and that will help to pick up the excess essential oil and take it away, um, so that you're not driving the oil more into your eyes and bothering your eyes. Okay? All right. So for each application, it has the step-by-step guide. Get to the page here where it has like an application. So this is the basic one, right? There you go. It's got your little pictures. It's got the oils that you're going to use. So this one starts with frankincense, and then it goes to tea tree, and then it's aroma touch, right? The massage blend, and then it ends with peppermint. The majority of these start with frankincense because that's a really good oil to begin with to kind of get everything in order in your cells and to get things, what I want to say, primed, right? Because remember that frankincense is a enhancer oil. And so whatever oils you use after that are just going to be even more beneficial because they'll be enhanced by having the frankincense in there. And then they typically always end with peppermint because that is kind of a stimulating oil. It helps to drive the essential oils a little deeper into your tissues so that you get a deeper benefit from them, right? It tells you on here, like this one, this is the basic application. It's great for your digestive system, your immune system, your respiratory system. And then it gives you possible conditions that maybe you want to use this for, right? And then they have a cardiovascular one. Again, it starts with frankincense, ends with peppermint. They have a cellular application one. Now, this one doesn't end with peppermint. It ends with petitgrain, which is interesting. That's considered the man's lavender because it has a lot of the same properties that lavender has, but it doesn't have, it has a different aroma. It's kind of a green, fresh aroma. I really like it. I think it smells really good. So that one's a little different. They have a C2 application, which starts with frankincense, ends with Melissa. And remember, Melissa is super, super beneficial to you for your immune system. And if you have something that you've tried, you know, all the things that you can think of to try for whatever it is, and it's not going away, try some Melissa because that is just, it works wonders. Just works wonders. All right. Then they have the Chi. That one starts with frankincense, ends with peppermint. Digestive, frankincense, ends with peppermint. Emobic, that one starts with frankincense and ends with spearmint. Okay, so another mint, but kind of the same thing there. They have one for forgiveness, which is kind of an emotional one, as is the emobic one is dealing with emotions and things like that. So the forgiveness actually starts with rose, and then step 3 is finally frankincense. Okay, and then the last one is it's a generic name, renewing blend. What's the renewing blend? Let's see what the renewing blend is. Oh, maybe it's that. Yeah, it is Forgive is the renewing blend. So there you go. So it starts with rose, frankincense is your third step, and then the renewing blend is the last one. They have a hormone balance, which again can be an emotional one. Frankincense ends with Siberian fir. They have an ID one, which starts with frankincense, ends with peppermint. They have inflammatory, frankincense, peppermint. They have a lymphatic one, which is really good. You know how important it is for your lymph system to drain properly, right? Because that's kind of when you don't feel well is when things are stagnant and things aren't moving. And so this can be a super helpful one to get your lymphatic system flushing and draining as it should. Okay, starts with frankincense, ends with peppermint. They all have different oils in the middle of them. They have a Maxim one, which starts with frankincense, ends with peppermint. Neurological, which can also be emotional, frankincense, peppermint. Osteo, starts with frankincense, ends with peppermint. purpose, that can be another emotional one. Frankincense ends with spearmint. Respiratory, frankincense and peppermint. They have a sensory one, which can also be emotional, right? Because a lot of times when you are, if you're dealing with someone who has some like sensory things going on, they can be very emotional along with that. That one starts with either balance or frankincense. I'd probably go ahead and use both personally. And then it ends with cedarwood. They have a solar one, which starts with frankincense, ends with Siberian fir. They do have in the back here, if you don't have some of the oils, they have a substitution list. So let's say the oil listed is arborvitae. If you don't have that, you could sub Melissa, you could sub Siberian fir, you could sub birch. They give you 3 different options. Okay. So it's a couple pages of that. And then there's room for notes in the back. If you typically what you want to do is if you're working on something specific and you're doing this, you can't do it to yourself. You can do it to another person. So the main way to do this is a spine application, shoulders, neck, feet. It's that type of an application. It tells you how to do it in the book. You want to, go on a circular motion down the spine, and then up the neck and kind of out to the shoulders, and then on the bottoms of the feet. And then if it has the nose, right, you're going to hold your hand that has the oil still in it, right, and underneath their nose so they can smell it. You can do this on a massage table. You can do this on, the side of the bed as long as you can reach the person. You could do it on a couch, right? You can do it on the floor, whatever's comfortable for you. Obviously, the massage table is going to be the easiest because you can get around both sides. And it's going to be at the height that isn't going to kill your back after a while, but you can make it work. So the spine application is the main one. They do have a foot application, right? You can do the same thing in the same orders in the same order of the oils that they list on the bottoms of the feet, right? So if you're doing it for yourself, that's a really good way to do it because it's really hard to reach your spine. They do make it's like a back scratcher stick, right? It's long and it has a place to put your oil bottle in the top of it. So you could do it. It's really awkward to do. Bottoms of your feet is just easier. And then the other thing that Lisa Zimmer actually came up with is that you could take each of the oils in this. So we're going to go back to the basic one because it's just 4. You could take each of the oils in this, use a repurposed like frankincense bottle or one of the oils that's in here, tea tree, aroma touch, peppermint, one of those, use a repurposed bottle, and put like, I don't know, 20 drops of each in the bottle. No carrier oil, so you're gonna put 20 drops of frank, 20 drops of tea tree, 20 drops of massage blend, 20 drops of peppermint. You can add a little bit of carrier oil in there. And then you could literally apply that on the bottoms of your feet. You could apply it on your pulse points. You can, with one bottle, right, you can get kind of up and down your spine a little bit or on your shoulders. You could do that. That's kind of the third choice because the oils, the way that they're applied in what order and that they're layered on top of one another. And layering just means you put one oil down and you're going to put another oil on top of it, another oil on top of it, blah, 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 right? So you layered it. That has a purpose and it really helps to make the oils work better, so to speak. Maybe, what I want to say, maybe quicker. But as long as you're getting the oils on you, that's the most important part, right? Because they're not going to work if you don't apply them. Simple. So you could make each one of these. There's 19, right? You can make each one of these, label the bottle that this is what it's the SOC basic application. It's the SOC Chi application, right? You could put a little note on there if you have a little label maker, right? Put a little note on there as to what it's for, what it would help, support, right? And that would be really, really, those are very convenient and it is easier. However, if you can take the time and apply the oils one at a time, either on the bottoms of your feet or on your spine, it really does make it just makes the whole experience that much better. Yeah. But getting oils on you is the main point. And so to make each one in a little bottle is very convenient. You can do it yourself. it's readily available for you. You don't have to go hunt up all the oils, right? So it makes it really nice. So, so if we're looking at the basic protocol, it's got frankincense, right? Frankincense we know is the oil of truth. It helps to ground and protect us. It's got anti-inflammatory properties and it's an immunostimulant. And then tea tree, right, is antibacterial. It has that immune stimulant. Aroma touch, it's anti-inflammatory. It's nerve stimulating. It is the oil of relaxation. It calms, relaxes, and releases physical tension. And then peppermint is also anti-inflammatory. It provides respiratory support and it also invigorates you. So, um, just it is a great way to use your oils for what I want to say, like specific purposes. And remember that you do want to have a carrier oil because typically you apply the drops of, if I'm thinking, I haven't, let's see. So there's instructions here on how to apply to yourself, okay, like we talked about. Although it's most beneficial to have someone else assist you in applying the application, you can totally do it on yourself when necessary. So not many people you can't reach your entire back, right? It's really hard to reach in between your shoulder blades. You kind of can. But begin on your lower back and reach as high as you possibly can, and then do your upper neck area and reach as far as you can, kind of thing, right? Okay. You're going to, after you do that, you're going to complete each step by applying the remaining oil that's still on your hands to the bottoms of your feet. Okay. If you can't reach your back, then you can do the applications to your bottoms of your feet. And the goal of this, like I said before, is to be easy and to simply get the oils on your body because that's when they'll work. If you don't apply them to your body, they're not going to work. They look pretty in the bottles, but you got to use them, right? So how often and how much? So if you have a relatively positive history of health, a proactive approach is to perform an application maybe 2 to 3 times a month, once a week-ish, right? If you have something going on, you can do the application 2 to 3 times a week for 1 to 2 weeks, and then kind of check in with yourself and see how it's going. You can return to the proactive approach of 2 to 3 times a month after that. Per application, it's recommended to use about 4 to 6 drops of each essential oil on when you do it. So say you're doing it on somebody's spine, right? You're just going to go, and I would always start with less is more because the oils work and they are very concentrated and they are very potent, right? And by doing so, you're giving the person the benefit of the oils. You're also not using up all your oils, right? You're making them more cost effective. And if you can get the benefit from 4 drops of oil versus using 6 drops of every oil, why wouldn't you? So I would always start with the lesser amount. And you're just going to drop the oils on the back, right? If someone hasn't ever used essential oils before, and you're going to do the Symphony of Cells application on them, I would probably start with just three drops of each oil. That's it. Because their body isn't used to having the benefits of the oils, right? It hasn't experienced that yet. And if you do start in the jump and you do 6, sometimes there can be detox symptoms when you're using oils, because that's what some of them do, right? Is they help things to get moving and released from your body. And if you jump in with they might have those symptoms and then be like, I don't want to use oils because they didn't make me feel good, right? And so if you start less is more, they'll get the benefits without having like any of the detox symptoms, okay? If you are doing a young child, using this on a young child, you want to start with maybe 1 to 2 drops of the oil. Okay. And then always use a carrier oil first. So you're going to take your fractionated coconut oil and you're going to do that down the spine, bottoms of the feet, right? And then you're going to start your oil application. That helps. Remember, when we use a carrier oil, it helps the essential oil to attach to that so that more gets absorbed into your skin, less gets evaporated in the air because they all evaporate in the air. Um, and you can spread them over a bigger area. If you're just dropping the oils on your skin, you're not going to be able to spread them as much. They're going to soak in right where they were, right? And some of it's going to evaporate. But the oil just makes it easier to move around. I mean, think about that. Massage therapists always use oil because it's gentler on your skin. You're not tugging and pulling and things like that. And this is not you're not massaging the muscles by any means. You're just applying the oils to the skin. So, I will put the link to the website in here, and I will put the link to that YouTube video because it's very informative. And if you have used Symphony of the Cells for something and you want to share that in the comments, that would be nice to know what you used it for and how it worked for you or for someone else. If you've taken a training and you want to comment as to that, you can put that in the comments also. The training I took was in Snohomish, Washington, and it was a while ago. They always have them at convention. It's before convention starts in Salt Lake City, but they have them all over the world. They're usually kind of I don't know, 5 hour-ish thing or so. Very, very informative. Boyd Truman is very knowledgeable on essential oils and uh, your body and how they work and how they benefit. And he kind of goes into, doesn't kind of, he goes into the why of it. Like, why does this work? And he's got some very great stories. Very, very great stories. And it is a wonderful way to apply your oils. It's another way to apply your oils versus just doing, like pulse points normally, like we say, right? Um, and it works. It works. Okay, so we've got your Symphony of the Cells book that you can get. I know that you can get uh like a here, I'll just go look while I'm talking to you. Under the shop, they have the books. They have oh, he's got the book. I think it's his, I want to say it's his mother. I'm pretty sure it's his mother. Feelings Buried Alive Never Die. That is a very good book to have. Very good book to have. They have cards. They have a chart. Oil substitution. That's going to be in the book. They have a 4 weeks to wellness calendar. Not sure what that is. Yeah, so they have you could go on here. There's a whole bunch of things. That Feelings Buried Alive, Never Die book is really good. If you say you're feeling a certain way, right? And you can go look in that book. That's over there. You can go look in that book and you look up that feeling and it can tell you what it might be affecting. You can also say your knee hurts and you're not quite sure, right? You didn't trip down the steps, you didn't twist it, whatever. And you want to know what that could be related to emotionally. You can look in the book for that. So you could look up, why your knee hurts. It's going to give you all these things and emotionally what it could be bringing up for you, what could have caused that. And if you go address that, right, and deal with that emotion and that memory or that whatever it is, right, that can really help. It's amazing how interconnected our body really is with our emotions and our heart. I just read a thing the other day, actually, on your heart, that it is not just a muscle. It does have feelings. And so when you are, quote unquote, heartbroken, you can be heartbroken. because your heart has feelings too. It's not just your brain that has feelings, it is your heart. I thought that was kind of fascinating. But it's amazing how our body is so interconnected. And I think that ages ago, when we didn't have all the technology and we didn't have, all the convenience things that we have now, and we were more in tune with nature, that people were able to, what I want to say, like they knew what their feelings were based on, or they knew um, where to look emotionally for what was going on in their life. That, your intuition, you listened to it, you knew what it was. And I think a lot of times now, you could have a nervous stomach over something and just think, oh, I'm just nervous about doing that. But that might be something else. It might be, maybe you shouldn't be doing that. Maybe, I don't know. It could be telling you that you just don't feel right in that moment. And there's a reason for that. There is a reason for that. And so it's very important to sit with yourself and learn how your body feels when things are going well for you. And then listen and learn how your body feels when things maybe aren't going so well for you. And just really pay attention to how your body responds to things, and emotionally and feeling wise, right? Whether you're feeling unwell, whether your stomach is unsettled, whether you've got a headache or things like that. It's super important to know those things, because then you can help yourself, right? Um, Deal with things in a more natural kind of, holistic way, that you're not always jumping to the latest, greatest, whatever. Um, yeah. So that's my thoughts. Anyway, Symphony of Cells, great, great application. If it is something that you have not done before, you want to learn more, go to the website. Like I said, I'll link that YouTube video on here, but go to the website. You can see where all the trainings are. Depending on where you live, they're all over the world, but I know they're in different states. The one closest to me coming up is in Salt Lake City, but that's not till September. Yeah. So any questions, post them below. If you've got a topic, that you want us to cover in our Monday continuing education here, let me know. I'll add that to my list. But otherwise, definitely go check it out, because it's very, very, very good. It's a very good way to use your oils for great, great benefits. Boyd Truman has had some incredible, he's got some incredible stories of using the oils and the things that they have helped with. So, all right. Okay. I'm done for today. You guys have a great rest of your Monday, and I'll be back next Monday with, I don't know what, something. But if you give me a topic, I'll do some research and we'll talk about it. Okay. All right. I will talk to you all later. Bye-bye for now.